I just think my life sucks sometimes. I'm stuck in this day-to-day routine of doing the same thing every day. And uh, people I love and the people I care about and my pets, they get old and then they get sick and die. And then I look at my own body as a human being and I'm thinking, hey, this body's going to fall apart. I'm just this meat puppet that's a accidental conglomeration of systems over time that have just come together and caused this consciousness to come into existence. That just this process just at one time it just appeared out of nothing, and it's all heading back into a nothing. There was this moment that the universe somehow began on its own. It just started out of a point, in a mathematical point, in without there wasn't any even space or time. So, and then supposedly everything's going to get torn apart in the end, and we die. Everything falls apart and we die. So, when people say, well, you seem like you're depressed, you don't look like you're happy. How come you're not laughing and smiling all the time, And it's like because of maybe the way I look, the kind of clothes that I wear, or how I talk, or how I comb my hair, or whether or not I have any hair up here, or how tall I am, or how fat I am, or my last name. And I'm always being judged, and I'm being measured against somebody else, or somebody's measuring themselves against me, or I'm being compared, and it's like all part of this contest. And it's like the one who dies with the most toys wins. And everybody's trying to compete against everybody else to prove it's like it's like a one-upmanship game. And the only ones that win are the ones that have children, because supposedly their DNA will preserve them. Their DNA will be they will. It's almost like people want to be born into the future. In antinatalism, believing that you didn't have a choice to be born, and believing that most of life is suffering, and you accept that, and you live this really pessimistic life, and then you're not smiling all the time, and you're not laughing and being merry, and people look at you strange, like, how come you're not happy? There must be something wrong with this person because they're not smiling and joking and laughing and happy all the time. Well, I go to my job and I sit down at my desk and I interact with the people I work with just to get the job done, just to get the work done for the company so the business can perform better, that everything will be more efficient, the customer will be happy, blah, 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 every day. So I can pay electricity company, so I can pay a medical doctor, so I can pay a grocer, so I can pay the insurance company, so I can pay my cable company, so I can pay for water to come to my house, so I can pay to get garbage taken away from my house, and pay a house to live inside of, to be sheltered from the elements in, and pay taxes, and then die, and work all my life, and then just die. So people go, why antinatalism is like, it's good to be born. Somehow all of this process of life, of living, or wherever life is going, it's going to somewhere. It's trying to accomplish something. And it started with a plan and guidance, and it's being overseen and directed by some overseer, some old soul that started everything. And people somehow think that if they align themselves with the soul, or they find this old soul, and they gravitate towards this God or this being or this whatever is going to save them in the end, it gives them their life meaning. Somebody comes along and says, oh, they're an atheist and they don't believe in any gods. So totally, undermines, and it's like the world being pulled out from under the person's feet, because they're so used to this God delusion, and they're walking around all day, every day, just believing, oh, there's a God, this God's going to help me, this God's on my side, this God, I'm on the right team, I'm on the winning team, and you're going to something's going to happen, you're waiting for some event to happen in the future that's supposed to be this grand, great thing that's supposed to occur that never happens. But when you're a child, you're taught all this stuff, to believe this, this whole life thing is going about because there's this divine supernatural force that's an intelligence that's designing everything, or that's causing everything to stay into existence, maintain into existence, and it's going somewhere. There's some golden plan. There's some great carnival with beautiful landscapes and wonderful beaches, and there's all these great things that are supposed to happen in the future. For it, like humanity is going to this great wonderful place, and it's really not. It's just people just coming about and going away, coming about and going away. Animals coming about, going away, coming about, going away. And it's just life just coming and growing and then dying. And just one person is me as an individual, so like I'm embedded within it, and just for this short period of time, I'm just going to eventually, after I do my little dance on the world and scream my scream, ah, 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 and sing my song, la 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 la, and walk around and shop and work and drive and just be at home and be with my wife, and that's just going to go, and I'm going to die. And I know that's coming someday, and it's in the back of my mind, and it bothers me sometimes, but it's just like, you know, who knows? Somebody makes a claim that they somehow know something, and you don't have any evidence or any solid data to back up what you're saying. It's wise to be a skeptical person in that towards people like that. People that say things or make claims about fantastic things that there's no proof of, there's no data of. Those are the people that you question their mental health. Or if somebody believes in a God, that's a form of that's a mental disorder, or classified that way. And then you have like a name. If you're born with a name, you can't help that you have that name. So people still associate that name throughout, you know, in out of your own life context in some other historical framework. So because your last name is that, people immediately get the impression that you are somehow, you're related to that name, but the name is like there's all these other people that have done things that have that same name that makes you embarrassed to have that name, or that like your name's associated with something that's negative, failure or losing or ill will or and there's like vendettas, and there's family lines that go back, or certain family names, and there was wars or battles with other families. So you're still like somehow, because you have that name, you're aligning yourself with that same lineage, but you don't believe in the same things. You don't have the religious beliefs. You don't have the political beliefs, or you have a different. You draw from a different body of knowledge from more modern times. Whereas the people that have your last name in the past were ignorant people, and like with my last name, unfortunately, there's stories or there's myths or there's little sayings, innuendos that my last name's used in, and it's like people associate me with that, and I'm not about that. So that's a problem, you know. It's like, and then as you get older, you pay more for medical expenses. So you got to start buying more drugs. You got to start seeing the doctors more. You got to start like restricting your diet. You know, you can't drink coffee anymore. You can't drink alcohol anymore. You can't smoke tobacco anymore. You can't eat candy anymore, hard candy, and stay away from like processed foods. Anything that's only eat just foods that are grown in the best conditions. Try to get organic if you can. So then that gets more expensive, food gets more expensive, and your wages don't go up. You're not getting paid more to compensate for all the other costs that cost to stay alive as a person. Those costs go up, but how much you're getting paid is not.